Welcome to Broken Not Shattered. Let me bring you my boy, OBG. OBG. Can you feel the jam? Hey, you go see when I land. Mwakana yes. See one day jegu. Mwakana yes. Ana yo meze. Grama chori boeze. Chori boeze. What's up, OBG? What's up?
You know, ordinarily is suspended.
What do you say?
I'm begging you. Ordinarily the leadership is contended.
Yes.
I'm begging you to have it. It's a huge name.
Let them carry that essay. I'm a big name. BNS is a big name. Wow, to my guests in America who might not know what just hit me right now because they're not part of that culture, which is fine. We'll bring you in. That's a song by it's called Piano from DC. So just check it out. Folks in the UK, folks in Far East, wherever you are. And we have new people from Australia, bro. Trust me, I'm just taken aback by what God is doing with this great platform. And so we decree and declare that this is going to be a great week for everyone who's watching and those who are going to jump on the bandwagon later on during the week and catch us on the podcast. We have been grinding on this thing for 2 years. It'll be 2 years. We've been working on this podcast, and sometimes you wake up, you feel, I'm so tired. I don't want to do this, or I'm in pain. I have pain, And the truth of the matter is, you feel like giving up, but you just have to continue going on. I tell you a true story, bro. True story. I had made up my mind that in September I was going to stay away. You were going to stay away, and I was going to bring a few people in to run all the 4 weeks. And unfortunately, man, I've been let down the first week of September. And the person I asked came up with an excuse and said, "Oh, this week they would take over again," And then again this week they haven't called, they haven't done anything. Another letdown. And then I started asking myself, why do people say things or project themselves as if they really want to do something, and at the end, sincerely, they don't want to do it. I guess sometimes the lack of commitment, a lack of interest. Others might just want to say things to make you feel happy in the moment. But truly and honestly, it's easier for you to tell me, hey, I can't do it, I won't do it, and then I can make my own plans. But you see, that's the problem. When you have been given a responsibility and you have been given a mandate, you always have to be ready for it, because nobody else was given this mandate except for me, and you have been very supportive throughout the journey. So I thank God for you and your life. And anybody who wants to come in to assist, well, fine. But it's just sad. I don't want to hold it against anybody or anyone who's listening, because I know the person is going to come. They'll be watching this thing right now, and they will find out that truly and honestly, another letdown. But that's okay. And life continues, bro. You're here, I'm here, and Jesus is here, and that's all that counts. All right, let's move on, man. How you doing, bro?
All right, I'm doing good. It's great to see you 2 years and counting.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I know how it was when we started. And if you believe with me, you discover that a whole lot have changed. So it is no longer as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been this level of growth that is so obvious. And it has gotten to the point where it is tied to your environment, your everyday life. And so that's the difference with who that you're supposed to stand in and he or she turned it down. You understand the vision more. You understand the ministry more. It is part of us. So every part of us breathes it. So
Okay.
it's easier to understand. But when you don't understand the vision, it's difficult to. For us, it is no longer a sacrifice thing. It is now a part of us. We can wake up any day. I can cough and I say, cough. And I'll relate it to broken no shelter. So this is what we do and this is what we stand. Thank God it's 2 years and
And
it's come.
and today we're talking about how it happens to me. And how it happened to me is basically we're going to look at uh, life experiences that happened to myself and Obi, and I bet
Yeah,
you to you on outside there watching us how it
yeah.
happened to you also. Um,
Woo!
it's interesting. I know about 2 3 ago there's a family friend of mine who just got scammed. Someone tapped into his WhatsApp and was able to tapped into his WhatsApp and was able to, you know, contact all his friends and was asking them to send money. Now, this also had happened to a good friend of mine years ago, not years, I think earlier on this year. She stays in London, and somebody tapped into her phone and her WhatsApp and did the same thing to her. I also remember late last year when a family friend of ours passed away, and the family, my siblings and everybody else were running around trying to build some kind of support to the family to take the body back from the UK to bury back in Nigeria. Um, Somebody else tapped into that group and went out and started scamming them, trying to scam people for money, and it's just unbelievable, you know. And then recently, bro, this week it happened to someone who was very close to us, um, um, and and the person was able to tell you how it happened to them. So I don't know. Somebody else today might be out there watching and listening, wondering, oh, I have a story of how it happened to me. Let's take that story first, and then maybe if there's a room for other stories and how it happened to me, we can go from there. It's your floor, Obi.
How it happened to me. So he's interested. Now I feel at home and I understand much better. Um, Before I get into it, you know, it's beginning to sound so interesting how it happened to me. You know why? Because it might be getting ready to happen to someone today or tomorrow. It might as well have happened to someone today or
Oh yes,
yesterday.
yep.
So somebody somewhere might be depressed at the moment. These two can also be preparing someone against tomorrow. You never can tell. But however it is, this is how it happens to you. I know you're all ears. I can see you.
You need to take a break and come back. I mean, come on, what's going on? The clock is ticking. Well, how did it happen to you? You know what? Let's take a break. When we come back, Obi tell us how it happened to him. At the
So it
broken
was,
Heart Shattered, my
yeah.
boy and I will be in the house, and we were talking about how it happened to me. Several things in lives happen. People get hit by different things. A loss of a loved one, divorce, loss of money, business coming down, loss of a partner, backstabbing of a friend or family member. You know, all the things happen, and these life experiences are teachable moments. That's what I say. Teachable moments to help us build, strengthen ourselves, and keep on moving. So, Obi, your story. Straight to the point, bro.
So my wife and I started thinking of how we can put funds together and invest in something.
Mhm.
We never had that funds. Um, and I think what prompted it was that we had a project and that project failed because we had insufficient funds to continue with it.
Make it happen. Mhm.
So we decided to plan ahead, you know, and we agreed on setting out funds to start up something. So she was able to get a loan from somewhere, and I was able to get across to my bank, and then I got a loan. But to cut the whole story
I
short,
can't hear you. You have to be a little bit louder, please.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. That's
So, like I was saying,
mm.
so she managed to get a loan somewhere, and I approached my bank for a loan, and I was able to get a loan from my bank. I will put the money together, and we gathered all we had. It was all we had. So we didn't mind starving, knowing that this has entered somewhere, and that will be our peace. But the unfortunate thing was that I had got into a conversation with who supposedly was to carry out the investment. You understand what I'm trying to say?
yes. Investment.
And because I, I did not do my due diligence properly, maybe for whatever reason I was carried away. So much unlike me. And then the account that was given to me after I spoke with the person was a local bank, which
So
is traceable.
it appeared legit.
So real, and so at that point I decided not to do other background check that I was supposed to do until I made the payment. When I made the payment, somehow I started thinking maybe I should have done this before making the payment, and I went back to check, and lo and behold, it was fraud.
Wow.
Less than 20 hours, I dashed to the bank, and the bank said to me, "Sorry, it can be traced, but it will take a very long time. It is a 50-50 thing because the account is a third party account.
It's a third party account.
Third party account is the account.
What's a third party account? You know?
So, from the explanation, their third party account is like a fintech banking thing.
It's
This
a
is like
virtual bank, virtual.
bank, yeah, virtual bank.
So virtual account.
Virtual account, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the virtual account. So it's a third party account.
Oh, wow.
And at the moment, they could not trace any name, any ID to me, and it was so sad.
So what you're saying to me, when these banks open, we're not going to call the bank's name.
Yeah,
So when these banks open virtual accounts, they don't take information, they don't track it down.
yeah. So I think that's one of the problems with these virtual accounts and the fintech banks generally. Um, the KYC is not always done properly. That's know your customer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not always done properly. And again, people can always have a way to get over
Getting
it.
around it.
Yeah, getting around it exactly. Because, for instance, one of the most important things is your phone number, which bears your BPN, right? But over here, you see that people can buy phone numbers. So by the time you track the BVN or the phone number, you discover that it is tracing to somebody who one wretched guy somewhere
But the
who
person
just
already opened the account a long time ago, yeah.
buy numbers and use the numbers to do whatever they want to do. You trace that and probably might not be able to get because they know the intention of that of buying their intention for buying that number. So that's it.
Oh, so this is so what would you say is the reason why it happened? You said you got carried away. Well, why were you carried away?
Okay, so fine.
Hmm?
The offer was juicy.
Oh, okay. The offer looked so unresistible.
Yeah, exactly. Again, um, the mere idea of it is working.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you will be able to get this. Oh, this is promising and it's working, right?
Right.
That's another thing. And again, when you put a duration to a project or to a program, because we give ourselves time to say from this time to this time, are you getting what I'm saying?
Right, right.
It's a 3 months or a 4 months thing, and you need to beat the time. So you feel okay, there's no time to waste. This is already working, it's juicy, it's promising. Let's kickstart this thing.
Wow. So basically, the anticipation of making it happen, that
Exactly.
whole that whole anticipation, I'm going to make this thing happen. The deal
Yeah,
is the deal is on the roll. It looks exciting. It looks juicy. And so you
yeah,
dropped your guard. So all the red flags went through the window. You ignore
yeah,
the red. You know, the funny thing about this is it happens to us in other aspects of our life when it comes to relationships, right?
yeah,
So you into a relationship, you meet someone, boy meets girl, girl looks fine. She's like, whoa, and the guy looks like he's dressing well, he speaks well, has a nice beard, all the nice looks. But
yeah,
you see red flags, so you keep on ignoring. You see red flags, keep on ignoring it, and
yeah,
then you
yeah,
think, okay, nah, he's always going to be good. Everybody's prone to mistake. Which obviously, we're all prone to mistakes. But then, by the time you now get deep into the whole thing, you are completely messed up.
yeah,
You've entangled yourself into a union that you had no business entangling yourself into. Now to get out is a challenge. It's amazing how it's easy to say I do and get married, and then when you say I don't, is the divorce process is unbelievable. You
yeah,
so it happened to you, it can happen to me. And
yeah,
and that's the danger of this. Is that I think the lesson learned for me when things happen is caution. Caution. I don't trust easily. I tell people this, and the people think, oh, you have your own issues. Yeah, we all have issues, but mine definitely is I don't trust easy, and I don't trust easily because of my experiences. I don't trust easy because of my experiences, and people will always show one side of themselves until there's a situation, and then the real person comes out, right? And you always have to allow those situations to take place, right? Before I'm the kind of guy that has always operated in I won't use the word isolation. I'm the kind of guy who I don't I don't like confrontation. Or before I never liked confrontation, right? But I began to find out it's okay to confront some things because what you don't confront can come back to haunt you. Do you understand? If you see something you don't like, find the best way, the most pleasant way to actually bring up those things politely. It might not. It's all about timing. So you find the best way to actually bring up those things. And when you've told people you don't like breaking points for me, I think someone should pay attention. If someone says that to me, I will definitely pay attention to that because you're telling me about yourself, and we see it happen. We see it happen, and when everything goes berserk and starts falling apart, you're like, oh, I saw this, I ignored it. Oh, I saw that, I ignored it. There's someone out there watching today. I don't know who you are. You're about to make a major decision in your life. I'm not sure what it is, whether it's business or whether it's in a relationship or whether it's an investment, just like what Obi was about to do. I'm here to tell you that before you make that move, take a step back, pause for a second. And if you're a Christian, go into a time of prayer. Make sure you have that peace that transcends all understanding. If you find yourself wrestling with anxiety and apprehension, just pause for a while. Just take a step back and process everything, and then recalibrate and come back again and go for whatever you want to do. I know that sometimes we can hear alternative voices, Obi, when you're trying to do something and your experience is talking to you and said, oh, it's because of what you went through the last time, and that's why you're afraid to invest this time. Oh, don't go into that relationship. Men are always bad, or women are terrible. I'm here to give the person good news that you don't have to give up. You don't have to back out. Just slow the process down so you can get to know whether it's the right decision or not. And if it's not the right decision for you, be confident enough to peacefully just walk away. And I think when you do that, life and peace reigns in everyone's life. Obi, what do you think? Because I know that's how it happened to me.
yeah. You're very right, and I agree with you. It is not a thing of being scared to try. So while you were talking, something came to my mind, and I started searching for it. If you read Ephesians, where he talked about the armor of God, it is in Ephesians 6. So if you read the verse 14, sorry, no, say verse 13, therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the days of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, that's the phrase I'm looking for.
Yeah.
After you have done everything to stand. Now there will always be one thing you skipped. Underline that word, everything. After you have done everything to, and that's the due diligence. Remember, I said I saw one indication. I did not look out for the other. So seeing one indication or two indications is not enough. Make sure you put down all your indications and make sure you tick them and they are all correct. If you get 5 correct and you have 6 to tick and you have 5 correct and you don't see the 6th one, hold on until the 6th one is verified. You get what I'm saying? And that's it. There's no need to fear to try. No, but make sure what you're supposed to look out for, you have all of them complete before you further it. The big lesson. We did not talk about what will be the implication. This has happened. But remember what was the mindset when it was all. So what happened? You can imagine the heavy crash. This is all you. You're also what happens to the goal? What happens to what you first, what we've planned ahead, of course. What happened because you've taken something from somewhere, automatically it's counted. So you're paying for it. It's automated.
Now you're putting yourself into a bigger, or it appears you're getting yourself into a bigger mess.
Mess.
I have good news for you. You are like a David. Yeah. And Lua is on your side. Remember in 1 Samuel, when Goliath came out and taunted the nation of Israel in battle, right? He told them to bring out the best of their best and that they were going to rip them apart as a nation, right? If you remember carefully, David was at the back street of nowhere, hustling his life, preparing and training himself for such a time as this, right? But what David didn't know, that when the time came, it was catapulted and activated divinely that he should go and serve sandwiches. The guy just brought sandwiches to his brothers who were at the war front. And as he was now at the war front, he said, what's going on here? I have a solution. I have a solution to this guy. Are you guys listening to this guy? Can you hear what this guy is saying to the nation of Israel? Where have you guys been? And his brother, his older brother, started looking down on him, condescending him and saying to him, you know what? Why are you so pompous? Why are you so cocky? What is it about you that you can't just stay? Who's looking after the sheep back home if you're here running your mouth saying you want to go and fight this Goliath? That we, strong men, haven't battled it. Because someone could not do it does not mean you, Obi, cannot do it. I'll say that again. Because someone could not do it, and they will say to you, you know what, don't even bother, try something else. Because someone could not do it does not mean that you, Obi, cannot do it. I'm talking to somebody again out there who's listening. Because someone could not do that business, or someone failed at that exam, or someone failed in that relationship, does not mean that you cannot do it. Because what David then did, Obi, David got himself together, went to Saul, and Saul said to him, hey, you want to take this on? Okay, use my armor. Remember now, this war is a war against Israel. So it's not even David's battle, right? Hello. It's not David's battle. This battle was Saul's battle. But Saul now started running his mouth. You can't do this. No. Okay, wear my armor. Put on my whole gear and go. David tried to put on Saul's outfit. It did not work, Obi, right? What's the lesson there? Always be authentic. Be yourself. Forget about people who don't know you. Forget about people who are going to talk about you. People will always talk about you. Actually, let me tell you, the worst people to talk about you is those who have known you for years, because they've always seen you in that light of, that is Ike. I know Ike very well now. Oh, I know Obi very well. Obi is a very hasty guy. It's what they like do. You don't go losing money. That is how they will always see you, right? Forget about them. Those are the ones that they're like David's brother who was speaking to him and saying, "What are you doing here?" Right? You should be looking after sheep because that's how they see you. But they don't know your time has changed. You are now on a different platform. Your destiny is about to take place, not only for you, Obi, but for others who are watching, right? To say this is the opportunity they have. When he now got there, he took 5 stones. He took 5 stones and a catapult. And then when he heard Goliath speak to him, he started speaking back to Goliath. Go and check it. David said to him, this day, the God of Israel will hand you over to me, and I will cut off your head. David started speaking back to Goliath, and he told Goliath straight up, this day, you're mine. So, Obi, you're like a David. They thought they've scammed you, of taking your money. Speak back to them that this day, they will lose everything that means anything to them. And they will find a way to return your money back to you. They would have scammed anybody else and gotten away with it. But because God is on your side and you are anointed for greatness, it must come back to you 1,000-fold. And they will never, ever dare mess around with a child of God ever. That is for you too, who's in business. That is for you, the mother who's struggling to pay her daughter's school fees. The single father, single mother, single dad. This is also for you. Don't give up. That is for you, the young child who's trying to get her exams correct and keeps on struggling. You're in sports. You're not there yet. It's for you. Don't give up. The battle always starts in the mind. Go back into that voice and tell that same voice that is sent to you that you can do it, that you have the capacity, you have the tenacity, you have the energy and the divine power to accomplish that God has already ordained for you. If I tell you what people told me, that I would never amount to nothing, look at me now.
Look at me.
Right? I was the black sheep of my household. I was the one that everyone said, oh, he can't do it. Oh, he won't do it. Oh, he can't succeed. But man, oh man. Every time they say, my cousin would say they can't put a good man down. Every time they think they got me down, God says, now it's not. It is okay not to be okay. But like we said this morning, Obi, right? Everything is going to be okay. And if everything is not okay, it's not the end yet. Obi,
so
you will cut off the head of Goliath and bring it back. And you know what? Let me tell you before you say something. You know what motivated David? David said to Saul, is there a cost?
To it?
Is there a cost?
Yeah, a cost to it.
If there is a cost, it will activate everything in you to accomplish your purpose and your destiny. What is involved in the matter? Salvation for the nation of Israel. You will not pay taxes in the land of Israel. You will marry the king's daughter and become royalty. You marry into the royal family. Is there a cost? They told David all the great things that could happen to him from the back street of Washington, D.C. or Isaleko, or somewhere inside Umoronjo. The guy now said, opportunity don't land. For this reason, I will move forward and I'll slice off the head of the enemy. With God on his side, he took down Goliath and delivered a whole nation. So today you shared your story, Obi. There are people who are going to watch and they will be delivered by that opportunity. We have 1 minute to go, bro. Your last word.
So you see, there is this saying, if all were easy, if all were bright, where would the cross be? Where would the fight be? But in the days, God gives to you chances of proving what he can do.
Yes.
And then that is one. So how best do we understand that peace that passeth all understanding?
Tell me about it, brother.
Understand that song that said, I still got joy in chaos.
Yeah.
I have peace that makes no sense. How then do you understand it? How then do you understand it if it makes sense all true? So how then, where is that joy that makes no sense? Where is that joy in your chaos? And this is the chaos. How can the people understand you better if you have not experienced it? Now I've got that joy, that peace. You see, as you speak, remember what we discussed when we talked about
last week. Now we talked about last week. Is that the joy? Is that the joy?
So it's like, okay,
now you had your own test.
I want you to understand it clearly, and I'm understanding it. Yeah. Remember the conversation we had, and you asked me about values and all that.
Right.
That's knowledge connected.
Right.
Triggered me. Come on, it's fine.
You'll be fine, my brother. You'll be fine.
My last word, sorry, was what I started with. Just as it happens to me, it might be getting ready to happen to you. It may have happened to you. And this is just the word for you. You see the way we stay strong. And it happens to us for a reason. Bible said Jesus died that we might have life. And so this is happening to us, that someone will have life who is about to move to move, or for you to have started, so that it will work with you.
Wow. Amen. You couldn't have said it better, brother. You couldn't have said it better. For all our audience out there, thank you again for watching Broken Not Shattered. Please, please, please do me a favor this week. Tell 3 people, just only 3. Tell 3 people about our podcast and tell them to follow us, subscribe, and check the like button on either Facebook or either YouTube, any other platform where you see that thing, so that we can just continue to spread this great word across. I want to thank you, Obi, and the rest of the team in the back who have done great work. David, Favor, Maiwa, the whole team that we don't get to see on a regular basis on every Sunday. I want to thank all of you for making this dream come true. Michael, thank you so much. Whoever is there, and those who have supported us consistently, especially my cousin KK, Josephine, my brother in Kem. Who else is always there with us? Your wife, who's always there to support us, Ada, and the bunch of people who are always there every Sunday. My family in Qatar, and Kingsley and his wife, wherever you guys are, our family in the UK who are supporting folks in Nigeria who come in and just keep on showing us love. Thank you for everything you do. Let's keep hope alive. And this week, go out and kill your Goliath. And please, when Goliath goes down, don't leave him down. Some things have to be really cut off. Cut off the head of your Goliath. In the famous 3 words, love, peace, and more grace. Obi, let's go out with a jam. Sitamo, the jam idea. Has it happened to you? All right. Anabalagumba. Matana, yes. All right, bro. Take care. Matana, yes.